Good afternoon and welcome. Welcome to another live session with myself, Darren from Elite EDM Stars, and on this lovely Boxing Day, lovely murky day in the UK. Today I'm going to be showing you how I started putting together an Ibiza-style track. I was trying to think of something to do for a live session, and I thought, why not try an Ibiza-style track, because it's something that I do like to do, and I'm going to show you how I started putting my ideas together. And there's multiple different ways I could do this, but I'm going to show you the quickest way I did this. But I just want to say this is probably going to be the last live video I do. It's been nearly 12 months since I've started the channel, 12th of January I believe, last year or this year, and I haven't got the sort of the amount of feedback or comments or likes or anything that I thought I might have got occasionally, but I thank the people who've subscribed, the new subscribers. Welcome to the channel, and I hope you do stick around, because I will try and keep things going once I start this new job next week. So I am going to have to sort of change my teaching things around for sort of the evening times and focus on the academy work in the evenings and weekends. I haven't got the response I sort of would have liked for the academy on YouTube and also on Facebook, and technically the sort of through the website itself. I've been giving out free content, a free book, free sample pack, and only a few people have downloaded it. So it's hard work, and this is one of the reasons why I've had to go and start a new job, because I need to get some income coming through so that I can afford to push the academy forward and get some marketing going. Build some blockchain stuff that I want to do, so I can offer the community a rewards system, and maybe then we'll be able to give access to the tutorials on the academy, the videos and the subscription tutorials that I'm going to do. So without that capital I can't really move this project forward, and without the support of a community I can't, also without you guys I cannot move this forward, because I'm not getting, as I say, the feedback or anything that I expected to get off it. But it is what it is. So I am going to have to go back to doing shorter videos and coming up with more different sort of refined content. So this is the last one I shall be doing, guys. So enjoy, and let's get into it. Okay, so what I've got, how I started this track out, I came in and I just typed in Ibiza. Obviously there's not going to be nothing roughly in here. You could always try the built-in sounds, you could try the drums, you could try plugins, audio effects, MIDI effects, nothing in there, clips maybe, samples, nothing in there, grooves, no. So what I do is come to my sample library, and obviously it comes up with a short selection of samples, because if I take that off you can see I've got multiple sample banks. So ultimately straight away I'm getting back down to a few elements of what I can work with. So there was not a lot. I started off with a few bits and bobs of sample packs and stuff, and also some drums, and pieced together a kind of an idea. Ideally what I would like to do as well is find some midis to maybe come up with a different pattern. So here we've got a MIDI pack of different Ibiza style patterns that I could use, synths we could come up with. So let's get into it. I'm not going to spend too much time talking. I'm just going to go run through all the elements I've got here. I've got an effect, I've got my drum pattern, I've got some drums here, but these are not playing. This is how I started, and I'll just play these. I started with these two little funky loops, but they didn't quite work. I moved into something completely different, and I'll show you how I started the track. I think it was like this. But what I actually did is I ended up moving away from that. I like the funky drum, It may come in use later on in a breakdown. That might actually work now I've listened to it with this riff, because what I did then is I took this stab sound and I just created my own MIDI riff, and you can see here just a simple riff running through and then a change in key in the riff and shortening of the notes just to create a movement, which works well in every now and again. Don't play this all the time, just keep it nice and simple and then use this as a transition sound. I did have some MIDI in here, and I'm just going to run through and show you what I've actually got, and then we can go into showing you, maybe putting together some different ideas with the elements I've got, looking for other ideas. But to simplify it, that's all I got, Ibiza. So I've got these house samples here, Eddie Amador samples, and just literally WAV loops. There's not a lot in there, it doesn't give me much to work with. But those are the samples that I had. So you're going to start, what he does, he forces you to be creative, and that's what I want to get across here. So I've got a construction kit of Ibiza sounds, maybe I could start to use, and that's what I did. I sort of picked some elements from here. And then I think I've just got some synth, yes, just got these midis. So excuse me. So I'm going to play what I've got. So you can see I could start taking this in a completely different direction. I could start just going back to the original elements I had, but there, you know, I'm just sort of trying to simplify this for you, how to get some ideas going, find out what works and what doesn't work. So I've literally brought in a C MIDI riff here. Let's have a look at this riff, see what we can get out of it in terms of just making a bass out of it or making a chord pattern. Let's have a listen. I'm going to put a quick synth onto this. Maybe I might use a serum and see what we can come up with just by creating get a quick version of it. Where is it? It's only a demo. I think got 20 minutes use with it, and it forces me. I like using the demos because it does force me before I do buy the actual plugin, and it forces you to sort of get into it and just start making a sound. So let's have a listen to what we've got here. Sorry if that came back through the speakers. I'm going to turn the mic down and turn the volume down also on this sound. Where have we got volume? Level. There we go. was having too much fun there, actually creating that sound. I do actually like that, what I've created there. I want to try and save that as quick as I can. It's a nice Ibiza-style pluck, and obviously I could try that with a different MIDI patch. See what it comes up with. I'm just going to save this quickly to my desktop. I just want to create Ibiza pluck. I noticed that some of the parameters were not responding, and I was trying to change my unison, and I'm not getting any unison. Sets the amount of unison detune is enabled. If it's unison is enabled, where okay, so I've got to enable a unison, and where the damn thing, I cannot find it. I forgot unison. There it is. Is it turned off? Maybe it's turned off. You notice how I built this up. I tried with changing the sound. I obviously applied a filter. I applied an LFO to the envelope to create that pluck type sound, and then played around with the envelope tightness to try and get that working. If I wanted to make a bit of a womp on it, I could even probably put an LFO on to there as well. So yeah, I'm going to try that with a couple of different other MIDI riffs and see what we come up with. Let's go back to my sample packs. Let's type in Ibiza again and get these. So what we got here. doing there is basically just pulling back, instead of having a positive filter LFO, I'm having it as a negative, so it just creates that little bit of whomp on the back end of it, which is a good thing to do on transitions. So as your track's sort of building up, we could sort of pull that back and have that kind of wompy sound coming in instead. Okay, so I like that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to freeze this track because I don't want to lose this sound. Again, I'm going to quickly save the patch as well because I like this patch as well, because I've slightly changed the sound. I need to drop it onto my desktop, wherever it's gone. I want to create another one, version 2. I'm going to duplicate the track and I'm going to freeze the track. Obviously it's going to make me reset the sound again, which is what I want to do because I want to create a new bass. And I just got to quickly freeze this track so I don't lose that sound. And then we're just going to make a nice little bass, see if we can get a nice little bubbly bass going with this, based on the original. Okay, so I've now got to either try and program a bass, or I'm just going to try and use an existing bass sound just to find something that's the kind of acidy, bubbly sound I'm looking for. So I'm going to sort of change some of these bass notes and duplicate them up. Let's see what I've got. It's going to, because it's going to play the same bass pattern, and I want to make it a little bit more busier. So let's see what we've got first. Analog pluck, no. Let's go with something a little bit more deep womp. Let's try that. I need to just set my it's too bouncy. Don't want a hard bass. I'm going to play through the riff and see what we come up with. Okay, so hopefully we can go with this. I'm sorry, apologies if there's a bit of a feedback coming on the mic there, because I forgot to take the mic channel down. So what we've got, I'm going to take my mic down and just try and program a new bass in here. Okay guys, so I hope you're enjoying this so far, and I could take it a little bit further. I'm just checking the back of the live screen. I'm hoping that I've remembered to switch over. Yes, I did remember to switch over. It's not doing this for a while. I forgot. Just checking to see if everything's coming through correctly. Yep. Okay, so hopefully you've seen most of that. We could go on. I could sort of start dropping this into a track, building the effects. So I think I'll start doing that now. I'm actually really enjoying this. These examples were just to show you some samples. I don't really want to use that sort of trumpety sample. It's quite a famous sample, I think. But I just wanted to show you sort of starting off with a MIDI, building a couple of sounds off for yourself. So you're making it your own. You're making it unique. So I can start throwing in some effects, and we can start building a little bit of a track idea here. Get some snares coming in, some claps maybe. But I'm really enjoying this now. 124 BPM is the BPM roughly for an Ibiza-style track. I did start off with a MIDI originally when I started doing this, and that's the reason these are 128. So we could bump it up. I think I started off with a sample that was 124. So let's try bumping it up. 1280 might be a bit too quick for it, but maybe not. It might sound nice. But what I'm going to do is record the track, and then start putting a little idea together and see if we can build it up quickly. Running for about another 10 minutes, and then I'm going for my second Christmas dinner. So let's get into it. So I'm going to set with 125 BPM, and I'm going to start recording now. Okay, so that's how I usually start a track, as quick as I can, and just get everything in recorded, and I'll start just taking it back. So I'll just start stripping. Maybe the bass will come in first. I'll strip this back to about here. On the first drop, the synth may start to come in. We may have another version of the synth coming in as an arpeggiated version. I'm going to then maybe strip out the bass there, but then have it come back in there. I'm going to take some of that part of the synth out there because there's probably going to be a little bit of a drop there. Looking at my markers, I'm going to quickly drop in some markers. Add locator, add locator. I'm going to literally do this every 16. This gives me a guide, and then when I want to go back in, I just fine tune everything in. And there's my last one. You can see it gives me there, so I'll probably want a little bit more of an outro on there. I'm just going to take that out to about 320. There we go. That gives me a track sections to start working with. I'm not going to use that vocal, don't like that, and so on and so forth. Probably not going to be using that either, so that can go, those two can go. Using all of this, not using that, not using that, or that, or that. We're not using this stab at the moment either, but we could, so I'm going to leave it there because I could probably retune it for something else. Just it's a case of going in and just tuning it, but yeah, so obviously that sample stab is probably completely out of tune compared to everything I've got down here, and the way that stab is playing is just playing on a pattern like that on a C. It's just playing a C note, which is playing whatever key that original sample's in, so I need to obviously tune it if I want to try and get it in the track. It may work at some point. That gives me something to start working with. I've got effects here. I'm not going to have effects loops coming through all of the time, so we're going to break it there. Then maybe start dropping it like that, taking that out. Keep the orchestral loop, the ride loop, maybe, yeah, maybe drop the ride out there. Maybe have it there in a, as that comes in, maybe start the ride there instead, riding up, and then we have it through, and then we're going to drop it out again and probably replace with other percussion and stuff. This is my kick drum, I believe. Yep. So we're not going to have the kick drum at the start, we're going to have it come in there with the bass, and that gives you a quick idea of throwing my track together. And let's have a quick listen. Sorry about that, guys, that was just my fault. I forgot to turn on the little switching the screens over. We're still playing on the clip view. So yeah, maybe I need that synth to come in here before the kick comes in, but we really are, what we're going to do is we put another filter on this. I can't do it right now because I've frozen the track, unfortunately. I could do this quickly. I could flatten the track. I'm going to insert a MIDI instead, which is just as quick and easy. If you flatten the track, it converts it to audio, but I'm just going to do it with this and just drag it down so we've got it there. Oh, my bad, wrong key. There we go. So we can now mute that, and we've got the audio version. I could just drop a quick filter on. Sorry guys, didn't realise that the mic was down. What I was saying here, I'll repeat myself. With the audio, you can't control the release times here. So what I would do is start to open up this synth and create the release times. I'm not going to do it now because if I take this sound off, it's literally I'm going to lose it if I unfreeze it. So you're quite limited unless you've actually got all of the automation going on in the sound first, and then you print it as audio. You kind of can't create any more sound design on that, so you're kind of limited to just filtering it really, or adding some delays to it. So that's what I would do here. What I might do is then start building that up, you see. So start coming up here, bringing the release times up, and maybe increasing the LFO speed slightly on the filter, maybe increasing the feedback of the delay slightly to come up here, just to create some more atmosphere in the sound. And then maybe create a a quick rising pitch sound here, so we'll do that now just to try and give it a feel of elevation, lift off. And that's what the sort of Ibiza style tracks are like. You've got to sort of plod the sound along, but then create rising subtle changes that there's like something new's going to happen, something new is coming along. So for me, you know, the reason as well I've gone with the bass is a lot of Ibiza sounds like that organ type bass sound. So if you can get that organy bubble in the background, that really helps with the track, and a nice plucky type sound, which is why I've created this and created that my own sound from scratch, using some different waveforms rather than just a standard saw waves. I want to come away from that sort of saw wavy sound. It might sound nice with some pads. I could create some pads from this chords as well underneath. We could put some pads in there. I might quickly do that in a second. Let's just get this element in quickly as I can. I know I'm running quite a long video here, but for my last video I thought I might as well run a decently long video. I'm just going to freeze Serum as well, because because I don't want to lose the sounds as I start to get into it. It may start to happen soon. I may lose the sounds. As soon as that happens, I'm going to finish, guys. I just wanted to try and get this done quickly as I can. Come on. So the key of our track is we could use a B, F sharp, or a D. Okay, let's use a B. Let's start with a B. Let's start with a low note. So what was happening there, guys, is the MIDI note was just slightly behind when I clicked it on. The quantize is so fine that the MIDI note wasn't playing, and I thought the synth wasn't playing. Okay, so we can go down a note. What I'm going to do is just create a rising pitch type sound, a simple saw wave. Let's see what we can get out of it. Something just soft in the background. Let's change my pitch notes bend, I think. As far as I can go, yeah. So we can get 48, a nice long pitch out of this as quick as we can. And then I need to go into my note here and pitch bend, Serum bend, D. No, I just want MIDI control, pitch bend. And we want to go down from here as far as we can and pitch up to here. End of the MIDI note. Wow, how far does this go? There we go. Okay, let's listen. That might be too low. Okay, so we try this, moving this up. got that going over a bit of too much of a long period, in all honesty. That's why it's starting to take, yeah, I've got it going way too long. I didn't realise how much of a bar going on. What I need to do is halve this down. The quickest way I can do that is I should be able to just halve the loop. No. Okay, I can't do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come out of there, grab this note, shorten it down quickly. I just want to do it over one bar. Sorry, not one bar. About 4 bars. There we go. If not, it's taking too long, guys, just to literally pitch, and I don't want that going on. So let's get this pitch going up quickly. And there you go. I got there eventually. All I'm trying to do is create some nice sort of wobble. I've obviously gone for a sine wave here in this particular case. I was just trying different sounds, different waveforms. I'm just trying to create a little bit of lift over a short period, just like something else is happening, transition. They love their big sort of wide sounds and wobbly sounds over there. I haven't been for a few years, so I don't know what the sounds are going on, but this is my sort of Ibiza style if I was making a track to aim for that market. So I hope you've enjoyed this, guys. I'm going to head off now, and as I say, this is probably my last video, so doing live for a long time. So I hope you've enjoyed everything I've done, and take care of yourselves. Stick around, because I'm not going to desert the channel completely. I will try and do stuff as I'm progressing myself. I will try and sort of show you what I'm doing, tracks. If I come up with new techniques and things like that, I'll do what I can to try and keep the content coming. But I am going to start focusing on, as I say, doing more recorded live videos and more blog content, and focus on pushing the actual website. So my focus will be there rather than sort of the YouTube channel on a consistent basis like I have been doing. So yeah, it sort of just leaves me to say have a great new year and all the best for 2020, and take care of yourselves, whatever you're doing on New Year's Eve. Stay safe, stay warm, stay well out there. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Give me a like, give me a thumbs up. Cheers, guys. Take care.